Hi, good day. My name is Kina, and along with Kirsten, we will be presenting the separation processes used in the production of red and white wine. Properties of wine. So, red wine is made from red or dark colored grapes, which can come in multiple varieties, such as Merlot, Pinot Noir, and Shiraz. White wine is made from white grapes, or by removing the skins and seeds of dark grapes before fermentation. They come in multiple varieties like red wines such as Chardonnay and Riesling. Both contain antioxidants and polyphenols, but in differing concentrations, such as resveratrol, which is used or known for its anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. Tannins, on the other hand, are given special attention as they are naturally occurring polyphenols that contribute to the taste, mouthfeel, and aging potential. Like younger wines will have higher tannin levels that would soften over time. Tannins are commonly found in red wine, but some white wines have tannins from aging in wooden barrels or from fermenting on skin. It is worth noting that resveratrol is found in the skins, and the tannins are found in skins, seeds, and stem. So before getting through this list, please remember that moderation is key. The uses of wine can be found within the properties itself, such as resveratrol, which can modulate inflammatory responses by inhibiting inflammatory enzymes such as inducible isoforms of NOS and cyclooxygenase-1, as well as inhibiting the synthesis of thromboxane, where its increase in activity is implicated in pulmonary hypertension or kidney injury due to an increase in platelet aggregation. Another property are tannins. Other than its contribution to the overall flavor of wine, it has antioxidant, anti-allergic, and antimicrobial properties. They also inhibit angiotensin-converting enzyme, which in turn prevents the formation of angiotensin II, a vasoconstrictor. Quercetin, on the other hand, makes antioxidant enzymes such as heme oxygenase, glutathione S transferase, and thioredoxin reductase to be more active. As an inflammatory compound, it inhibits nuclear factor kappa B, which plays a role in inflammatory responses via reducing the expression of toll-like receptors, TLR2 and TLR4.
The winemaking process consists of several key stages, each involving different techniques to separate or transform grape components into the final product. The first step is harvesting and pre-treatment. Grapes are harvested manually or mechanically and it's transported to the winery. Sulfur dioxide may be added at this stage to prevent oxidation and microbial spoilage. Next is crushing and destemming. Grapes are crushed to release juice and stems are removed. This separation process is essential to avoid excessive tannins from stems, which can impart undesirable bitterness. Next is maceration and fermentation. For red wines, grape skins are left in contact with the juice during fermentation to extract color, tannins, and flavors, while white wines undergo pressing before fermentation, separating skins and solids earlier. Yeast is also added to convert sugars into alcohol and carbon dioxide through fermentation. Next is pressing. After fermentation, or in the case of white wines before, solid components like skins and seeds are separated from the liquid wine. Pressing intensity affects wine quality. Gentle pressing preserves delicate flavors, while harder pressing extracts more tannins. Next is malolactic fermentation. This secondary fermentation converts malic acid into lactic acid, which softens acidity and improve mouthfeel. This is common in red wines and some white wines like Chardonnay. Next is clarification and stabilization. Suspended particles like yeast, proteins, and polyphenols are removed at this stage. Methods include sedimentation, centrifugation, and fining agents. Next is maturation and aging. Wine is aged in stainless steel tanks or oak barrels to develop complex flavors. Oxygen exposure, tannin interactions, and microoxygenation contribute to the final taste profile. Finally, bottling. Wine is filtered and sterilized before bottling to ensure stability and longevity. Sterile filtration removes remaining microorganisms, preventing spoilage. Wine is essentially transformed grape juice. However, to achieve a clear, stable, and high-quality product, winemakers use a series of separation processes categorized under what we call the RIPP or RIP scheme. RIP stands for Removal, Isolation, Purification, and Polishing. Removal involves getting rid of unwanted materials early in processing, while isolation involves separating key components like juice from solids, and purification involves eliminating unwanted dissolved compounds to improve clarity and stability. Lastly, polishing is the final refinement to ensure microbial safety and quality. The first step is crushing and destemming, which is a removal step. This process involves separating the grapes from their stems and breaking open the berries to release juice. It's done using a machine called a crusher destemmer, which gently crushes the grapes while removing stems. Here, we're using size and density differences to separate the stems from the fruit. This step is crucial because stems can add bitterness, which we usually don't want in the final product. However, in some winemaking styles, a portion of the stems might be included to add structure to the wine. After crushing, we move to pressing, where we separate the liquid juice from the solid parts of the grapes, also known as pomace. Winemakers use different types of presses. Traditional basket presses apply slow pressure, while pneumatic presses use air pressure for a more controlled extraction, and continuous presses work efficiently for large-scale production. This step is purely a liquid-solid separation, helping us extract juice while leaving skins and seeds behind. The next step is clarification, which is a purification step. At this stage, the juice contains small solid particles like yeast, proteins, and plant material. This could cause cloudiness. To clarify the juice, winemakers use gravity, which is essentially sedimentation, enzymes, or centrifugation, to separate solids from the liquid. Sedimentation involves letting particles settle naturally over time, while centrifugation speeds up the separation by spinning the juice at high speeds, and enzymes like pectinases break down solid components to help clear the juice. Clarification ensures a cleaner fermentation process and prevents unwanted flavors from developing. Next step is stabilization, which is also a purification step. We need to ensure the wine remains stable over time. There are two major concerns here: protein instability and tartrate precipitation. To remove unstable proteins, winemakers add fining agents like bentonite clay or gelatin, which bind to proteins and make them easier to remove. And to prevent tartrates, which are crystals sometimes found in wine, we could use cold stabilization, which is chilling the wine to encourage tartrate precipitation before bottling. This process keeps the wine clear and visually appealing for consumers. And the next step is filtration, which is a polishing step. This involves removing fine particles like bacteria or yeast that could affect the wine's quality. Winemakers use various filter types. Microfiltration removes bacteria and tiny particles, while ultrafiltration allows selective separation while keeping essential wine compounds intact. This step is especially crucial for wines that aren't heavily aged, as it prevents spoilage and ensures clarity. Finally, before bottling, the wine undergoes a last filtration step known as sterile filtration, which is passing through a fine membrane filters that remove any remaining microbes. This ensures that the wine remains stable once sealed in bottles. Once filtered, the wine is bottled under controlled conditions to prevent oxidation or contamination. marking the end of the separation process.
Advances to conventional separation processes. These advances include membrane technologies and magnetic separation. Membrane technologies include microfiltration or MF and ultrafiltration UF. Microfiltration uses a pore diameter of 0.2 micrometers for red wines and zero point 0.1 to 0.22 micrometers for white wines. These enable microbiological limpidity and stability in one operation with low turbidity, which means it would have minimal suspended particles without affecting the characteristic of the wine itself. MF retains particles, microorganisms, and colloidal aggregates. Ultrafiltration, on the other hand, ranges from 0.005 to zero point 0.1 micrometers. It can be used to adjust the content of specific compounds, such as tannins, and those that affect flavor and aroma. All of this while maintaining chemical balance in the wine. This method retains polysaccharides, polyphenols, and proteins. For magnetic separation, this includes the use of nanoparticles such as superparamagnetic iron oxide nanoparticles or NPs, which has been shown to isolate yeast cells for sparkling wine production. An application of imprinted magnetic polymers has shown that it can reduce specific off flavors such as IBMP. IBMP is what causes the green pepper flavor in white wine. With this application, it can retain the aroma of green pepper, but you don't actually taste it in the white wine. So that's it for this presentation. Thank you for listening.